Ms. Heard, you testified that in January of 2015, Ms. Heard, you testified that in January of 2015, Mr. Depp's Mordecai incident in Tokyo, Mr. Depp's Mordecai
That's correct.
film Mordecai told this jury that on this occasion,
That's correct.
Mr. Depp was told this jury that on this occasion,
That's
Mr.
correct.
Depp was
In the
kneeling
closet.
on your back. You also told this jury
That's
that
correct.
you wore a
In the
backless
closet.
dress. You also told this jury that you wore a backless dress to the Mordecai premiere that very same night.
I did.
And you testified. Your back.
Perhaps
Yeah.
after I was concerned, concerned that there would be marks in any photographs since we were being photographed at Johnny's press event.
You didn't show this jury a picture of you in that backless dress, though, did you?
I don't know what you mean, I'm sorry.
You didn't show this jury a picture of you at the Mordecai premiere wearing a backless dress, did you?
I haven't had the opportunity to.
Okay,
I assume you haven't?
I do. Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1256. This is a picture of you and Mr. Depp, or the back of you, at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, correct, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit and publish this picture.
Art 1256 in evidence.
This is you in the backless dress at the Mordecai premiere in Tokyo, right?
That is correct.
You would agree that there are no bruises or visible marks on your back in this picture.
No, not that I could see.
I'll show you one other photo. If we could please have Plaintiff's Exhibit 1257. This is a front angle picture of you and Mr. Depp at that premiere, correct?
That is correct.
Move to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1257.
Art 1257.
We'll show you one more picture. Plaintiff's Exhibit.
There we go. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stay. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, that's it. All right. So I'm sitting there last night, and I'm hanging out in like USA Hill's room and whatnot, and they got all their shit going on, right? And I end up like I went through almost an entire half gallon of rum, and almost half a bottle of Gatorade, and woke up today with Doritos like sitting next to me, and I tried to piece everything together. And so the Amber Heard trial and Johnny Depp trial was like on my mind because I wanted to cover that, and I will later. So that whole deal was going on, and then like Russia and Ukraine are like hyping up. Anonymous just released like a. I did have a rendezvous with the Doritos. I definitely did. So, like, I'm trying to pay attention to all this stuff that's going on in the news. And, yeah, I ended up passing out, and I left my camera on, and I was stuck in, like US A-holes, like, I was stuck in his Discord chat room all night long. So I'm pretty sure everybody got to hear me snore. Almost completely positive that people heard me snoring, because I had to be sawing logs just by the way that I woke up today. So yeah, so that happened. That's cool, Grandpa. That's fine. I can always show it later anyway. I didn't wake up till like an hour ago. So, I mean, it's not that big of a deal for me, but, you know, it was just something I was going to show because I didn't have anything else to show. I'm not gaming currently, you know, so I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of boring today, sort of. But I'm also on the like. No, I'll watch it eventually, but I haven't caught the beginning. All I noticed is Amber Heard's like lying her farting ass off. I don't know if anybody ever saw the movie Johnny Dangerously, but they had some of the greatest cuss words that weren't cuss words. You had the Farganisals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Farganisals, what else did he say? He basically had a cover for every cuss word, but it wasn't a cuss word. And I can't remember all of them. Fargan Jargoff or something like that, and I don't know. It was crazy. That was Michael Keaton also that was in that movie, which is kind of interesting because I didn't know he could do that, because that's the same guy. Michael Keaton's the same guy that played Beetlejuice, which is awesome, right? But yeah. So anyway, I passed out live stream last night, and that happened. But you know, I did accomplish something. I mean, I'm down to that in my half-gallon of rum, and I still have a gallon left. Because you got to be prepared, you know. That's like the Boy Scouts motto: always be prepared. Sounds like she's. Yeah. I don't think she's on Doritos. I think one of the things about that trial, which is kind of funny, is people are like accusing her of like snorting cocaine through her Kleenex while she's on the stand. I don't know. The problem with that trial is that it's so one-sided, it's ridiculous. Cheese dust. Yeah. That's funny. Oh. So, Grandpa, I don't know how I did this, but I somehow signed up for Ukraine help, and now I don't know how to like disable that. Just so you know, I don't know if you have control over that, but I don't know how the hell I did it. because I'm actually trying to stay apolitical in a lot of the shit that's going on right now, and I don't know how. And I think that was like something that popped up and was like, yeah, click yes, and I was like, just get rid of it, and I clicked yes, and so now I support Ukraine, and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. I do support Ukraine. Yeah. Could have been the Doritos episode. Could have easily been the Doritos episode. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I don't know. Like I said, I just woke up like an hour ago, so. And I still have some rum left over. Cheers. At the Doritos incident. It's not the first Doritos incident, by the way. I mean, I've got several recordings of me playing guitar from like the entire weekend. So there's been a little bit of craziness going on in the Loki universe. It's kind of what happens when I get stuck with a half gallon of rum. No, I'm always, look, I'm always straight up. I'm Loki, and I'm always Loki, and I will never be anything more or less, but I'm Loki. And random things happen. And sometimes people wake up because of me, and sometimes people get, like, fall asleep because of the tunes. They love the tunes so much that they pass out or whatever, and they drink, right? So sometimes people wake up, sometimes people go to sleep. It's all part of my world. It's just what... No. No, that is definitely a specific Loki thing, is to pass out next to a bag of Doritos. I also passed out to a pint of ice cream, actually, over the weekend. Not quite sure what I was nursing, but I was nursing something. Sorry I had to do that on stream, but again, I'm live, so I have to get my breather back. Because I've been apparently snorting the Doritos also, the cheese bits. Yeah. So, Gramp, I don't know why you're not finding the Johnny Depp trial interesting, and that's fine if you don't, but that is like, I mean, aside from Finland joining NATO, which that's happening, that's pretty interesting. And I don't really feel like covering all the, like the shootouts, everything that happened over the weekend as far as like violence and whatnot. I don't want to cover that because it's like already, it's bad enough as it is. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. I mean, that's fine. That's, like I said, I don't have to watch it right now. And yeah, it's my stream and I can do whatever I want, but I'm just trying to breathe. Try it. I got fired last Wednesday from my job that I didn't like in the first place. And so I've kind of been partying quite a bit for the past few days. No, it's cool, Grandpa. That's good. I'm fine chatting with y'all. I'm totally happy with that. I mean, we can play a game of cards if you want. I'm just getting started. Need to put my Gatorade back. I'll be right back. Ah, nice. You guys won. A mix of rum and cheese dust. That's funny. It's not. The Gatorade has actually probably kept me alive over the weekend. Because, like I said, I mean, who else do you know that can go through a half gallon of rum? It's me. It's Loki, because Yar. Yar! But, yeah. I've recently brought back the whole Yar thing, too. Throughout some other channels that I follow. Oh, Grandpa, did you get, Weird Girl's message? And I'm kind of curious if that's like directed my way or if it's like a broad statement. She said it was a broad statement, but I don't know. She was talking about she's going to change up how we moderate that channel. She wants us to not play as much, is what I gathered from it. She likes so the mods will be more silent, I guess. I'd have to pull up the email or the message, the whisper on Twitch. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah. Because right, exactly. Like trying to cover the terms of service for sure. And fix the hardest part about that channel is because it harbors left, right, and center. It's really hard. It's really hard to actually know what to do in some situations, which because you don't want to piss off either side, and that's that's really hard to do because you get the far right and you get the far left, and then you get the jokers in the middle, and like we were protecting as much as we possibly could. I'm going to turn down the volume here because I think I'm loud. There we go. So we were protecting like the channel as much as we possibly can. Grandpa's taking care of the TOS, and I'm trying to keep. Same thing, actually. I'm trying to protect the TOS also, and we're coming at it as we can, but all I had on my screen was allow or deny. So I ended up like booting two people, and I didn't mean to boot them. I just wanted to clear their comments, and I don't have the add-in for the moderation. So what I have is the admin screen for everything, and in trying to protect the channel, I think I kicked out 2 people, I think is what happened, and that wasn't what I meant to do. It just happened because that's the only way I could like get their comments off the screen. I do mod view, but the only option you have in mod view through Twitch is allow or deny, and when I deny, it like kicked them. And I don't have the delete comments option. Oh, you're talking about the add-in, the plugin add-in for mod view. No, I don't have that. I don't have that. Yeah, fix. Yeah, totally. Neither can we. Yeah. Like Grandpa's like, just don't ban me in the other night. I'm like, I'm not trying to ban people. I'm trying to clear the comments. Yeah, I have the mod icons. They're enabled. Yeah. I have that whole mod available. The only thing I have is allow or deny. And like it shows up like glaring red on my screen. Cheese dust huffers. You got something against Doritos, Fix? Because the Doritos that I had, which is like the bag that I have, is like hyper contradictive in the fact that it's flaming hot Cool Ranch, which doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, a trash can, huh? I'll have to take it. I'm gonna have to install that. I'm gonna have to install that add-in. Yeah, well, flaming hot Cool Ranch. It's hyper contradictory because it's got the Cool Ranch dust with an overlay of like the hottest type of cheese dust that they have. It doesn't make much sense. Grandpa, if you can send me a link for what you're using over there, I'll download. Here's what I got out of her message was, she's like, you can still interact, but you don't need to be actively interacting, and that makes the room no fun. That just means that we're mods. So do I create another account and jump in the room, or no? I don't understand what she's trying to get at. Fix, are you still over on TW Lives? Okay. Enable mod icons. Mod icons. Okay. Yeah. I've been trying to get back into TW Lives, and like Travis's wife kicked me out of the channel. Cuz I took Travis's back on, he was pissed off at his wife one night, and I took his back, and I'm like, yeah, just ditch the gal. And that that got me like permabanned from TW Lives. I still like the channel. I still watch. I just don't get to interact with the chat room, which sucks because I still have millions of points that need to be played. When I first started modding for those guys, Travis always said that she's the boss, and she is definitely like the boss, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I just kind of miss chatting with you all over there. Yeah, right. Oh, no, you didn't. So, just for your information, Fix, if you take a side between Travis and his wife, take his wife's side. It's you're way more protected that way. Way more protected. Funny. I miss that crew. I still got the hat. I mean, check this out, right? When I started up modding for those guys, they sent me this, and that's pretty rad. Because we're human, we don't necessarily always make the right decisions because we're still trying to figure out how everything works. So yeah, so sometimes you make the wrong decision, and I definitely did. So I mean that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I'll deal with the repercussions. I'm okay with that. It's okay. And Fix, you're absolutely correct on the whole watching out for number one thing. I mean, that's how to do it. Yeah. In the end, so people look at mods differently than they look at everybody else that's in the channel, because the mods have the power to like kick, ban, and delete messages, and that's I guess that's how we have to play if we're gonna play that role. I'm a mod in USA Hole's channel also, and he's hyper far left. He's like transgender supporting, and I get to play in that room. I mean, I get to, I throw jokes out there and whatnot. But I think with TW Lives, because they were when I was a mod over there, they were trying to build the channel, and I was just having fun. I mean, I was just another gun that was there in the channel if needed be, right? And it's a bummer that couldn't persist. Let's see. Well, of course you have Loki Manus, who's a gamer. It's this guy. I've got Jay. I've got Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. I've got him on my list for channels to watch. He's a gamer. And then I've got another channel on there that has it's just constantly got 40,000, 50,000 people in it, and it's another gamer channel, and it's like you look at that one weird girl trying to build her audience, right? And I think we get up to between 70 and 150, depending on what night it is. And TW Lives was the same way when they started. They trying to build up that audience, and I think they're up to between 70 and 110. But you got these other gamer channels that they have 40,000 fucking people. They have so many people in their rooms, and they're just playing video games. And Travis and that one weird girl, they're trying their hardest to establish a base. And these guys are doing what I do, every other night and play video games, and they get like 40,000 fucking views. I have more followers on TikTok than either Travis and that one weird girl, which is hilarious because the videos that I threw out there aren't that interesting. At least I don't find them that interesting. That's also under Loki Menace. Everything I do is under Loki Menace, and it's either Loki Menace with an S or Loki Menace with a 5 is the following us. But yeah, and it's insane. It's insanely crazy what people follow, what they choose to follow, because you can have the most interesting topic to like try to flow, and you don't get the viewers. You don't get the viewers, and it makes no sense to me. I think I have 329 followers on TikTok right now, and it just keeps growing daily. Like, I don't even know what I'm at right now, and yeah, I don't get it. But my Twitch channel, usually I'm playing Cards with Grandpa. Unless I'm gaming. If I'm gaming, I still play Cards with Grandpa, but I'm still gaming. And I've got some killer clips on Twitch, on that side of things. I do. I caught some epic moments where like I took a sniper rifle and like nailed like 3 people in a row, and then chased after one of them and caught up to him, took him down, and that was in Call of Duty. But like the topics and things that like that one weird girl follows are interesting. They're interesting to me. They're interesting to a lot of people, and it's just fun to be in that channel. So that's gonna suck that now I have to I can't chat with everybody. Yeah, that's gonna be a bummer. And that's okay. I mean, it's her rules. It's her stream. It's her rules. So that's okay. With TW Lives, I thought it was Travis's rules, but I was fucking dead wrong. It is definitely his wife's rules. It was definitely his wife's rules. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, wow. Holy carp. I got like 5 more followers on this channel. That's cool. That's cool. Oh yeah. No, dude, I like, so the Call of Duty, the reason why Call of Duty is like my main game is because we're trying to build a clan, just like trying to find viewers for your chat room, right? But we're trying to build a clan that is like global, and so that we have gamers playing 24/7, so that like, now that I'm not working, it doesn't matter as much. But when I was working, I couldn't find anybody to play with. Like none of my team, none of my friends or whatever were on, because I always got off at like 12 o'clock at night, and so they were already asleep. So what we're trying to do is do a global clan, so that there's always people playing, and you can just join in whenever you can join in. And that's another whole. I have been so busy in the past. This is why I got fired, by the way. I got fired because I couldn't show up to work. And I couldn't show up to work because I was online like almost 17 hours out of the day. And I couldn't wake up for work. I couldn't, I ran myself too thin. Now I have all the time in the world, which is nice, sort of. Still get a paycheck, I guess. Probably have to go on unemployment. But, so there's a lot of work that goes into, like this. For instance, the program I'm using for this stream right here is OBS, and that cost me $160, 150, 160, somewhere in there, to just to get this software. At the same time, Twitch is free, Facebook is free to go live, but the beauty in the software is the fact that you can throw your feed out multiple places. OBS is what I'm using, is Streamlabs OBS, and it's a Windows program. And when I bought it in 2021, I was actually going broke, and I didn't mean to buy it. I was trying to check it out, and they wouldn't refund my money. So I have it basically until September of this year, and I'll probably re-up. Because it's good software. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. And you know, I've worked on Linux. I've had Linux. I've had, I don't know if you remember Mandrake. That was my favorite OS. And my first interaction with Linux was because of a neighbor of mine. We ended up watching anime one night, and he was running Linux. And I'm like, what are you using? He's like, Mandrake. I'm like, oh, okay. And and at the same time, I'm actually working at Microsoft over in Redmond. And but he introduced me to Mandrake, and I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. You can do so many things that I can't do on Windows. And meanwhile, I'm a quality assurance engineer at Microsoft. So it was so funny how that worked out. 'Cause, I mean, next thing I know, I'm like installing Linux on everything. Like, totally ditch Windows. Meanwhile, I'm working for Microsoft. Totally ditch Windows and install Linux. Yeah. It was a funny thing. Gentoo is that's a good distribution. Yeah. Yeah. See, but most people don't know how to, I do, you do, but most people don't. And that's really tough. I ran on Gentoo in a VOD platform, and that's actually gone huge now, and it's sold everywhere, and I can't talk about it very much, but we used Linux, and Gentoo was the platform that we used. Gentoo, not the revision that I had. I had to build everything on. Oh, maybe it wasn't Gentoo. Maybe it was KCD. OCD? KCD? I can't remember what it was. I had to build everything from scratch, so I had to detect all the hardware and try to get all the Linux drivers pulled down. Like I was running back and forth with the USB, like with drivers, trying to get everything set up. But in the end, it ran so smoothly. Like once you had those pieces in, it was so lightweight. Like, so Windows, I have 16 gigs of RAM on this laptop, right? And what Windows does is it's going to pull half of that and then use half of it as reserve, but it's actually going to take up as much as it possibly can, so that when it needs to process something, it can throw it immediately into processing with RAM. With Linux, you build your operating system to the point where it's so streamlined that it doesn't take up shit. Actually, it's like the most minimal until you really need to use a resource. It's not allocated. So what ends up happening with that is on the graphics side, you end up with a lot more defined graphics, and everything is like HD and beyond, and because it can use those resources that it's not allocating for the operating system, you can use those resources to do other things, and then you got 4 different desktops, and you can do up to like 12 different monitors if you want to do that. And I thought that like Windows 7, I thought that was awesome when it had like 3 32-inch screens going along for my setup. But Linux, you can do, like, it's unlimited. The only limitation is the resources that you have available. So like you throw 64 gigs of RAM in the background, and you throw up like some NVIDIA GPUs, and then all your toys and everything else that goes into your OS. Like, if I was to build an operating system, if I was to build a computer today, which I haven't done in a long time, if I was to build a computer today, it would probably cost me about $10,000. Yes, I have done Linux from scratch. I haven't specifically done what you're talking about, but I have built Linux from scratch. The nice thing about like Slackware is you can do coding for like embedded systems. Like I worked on elevator programs like Otis. We did code for that. And I've worked, yeah, so if your elevator fails, you can blame me. But I've also worked on Windows. I have my name in Windows code. It's buried, but it's there. Yeah. And now that Apple is using a Unix derivative, once you understand Linux, Unix, there's like absolutely nothing you can't do. Because at this point, even Windows is using some Linux code on their back-end servers. So, if I was to go back in time and talk to like my teenager self when I was doing hacking of like bulletin board systems and whatnot, I would tell myself to learn C++. Because if I kind of know C++, but I don't know it to a functional level. Like in a printf, parenthesis, quotation mark, fuck you, quotation mark, parenthesis, semicolon. But the thing about having C++ as a language is like your foundation. You can code the gobbledygook. Yeah, I totally understand that. And the gobbledygook is all right. Let me stay focused on one topic first. So if I was to go back in time, I would tell myself to learn C++. And the reason is because I'd be able to actually understand the code to do everything from video games to operating systems. Okay, so I'm going to finish it right there. Hey there, how's it going? How you doing? Nibi. Yes, they have. And when you're talking about languages like C++, the thing is that is why you have Python. That is why you have all these branched languages that basically simplify operations. I'm good. I was a little bit hungover earlier today, but I'm good. I actually feel human today. Nibil. Yeah. Sunday morning was rough. But yeah, so yes, C++. Okay. And that's what Grandpa Weirdo's talking about, is the fact that the language gets caught up in like all of the syntax and everything. The gobbledygook is what he called it. Gobbledygook, and the syntax and everything gets lost. Like you can't just go, here's an object. You have to actually define the object, define the parameters and what that object's going to do, and then on top of that, how it's going to motion. And you're basically starting from scratch every time, which is why like Java exists. Java is a C++ derivative, and Python's a C++ derivative. Actually, I think Python's a derivative of Java. But yeah, I'm really gonna have to figure out how to turn off that Ukraine thing, because it's just spamming the room. Yes, always. That's why you have arrays. You code arrays so that you can categorize information. My splashdown in coding started with ASP and JavaScript and the IIS web server, because I was at Microsoft, and I created a page that basically collated information from like 20 different companies, pulled it all in so that my boss could see a report, and that's how I got started in coding. So, yeah. So the complexity of C++, the reason that it functions that way is because back in the day, you didn't have SQL Server or Excel or all these different things that you could pull source into. You actually had to create it from scratch. And that is why C++ exists, is because C++ is Scratch. That's the only thing more idiotic than C++ is like assembly language. And assembly language is fucking crazy. Crazy. Yeah, that's why it's a movie, not real life. I would think along the lines of like Tron would be more apropos for C++ or assembly. Not even assembly. Tron didn't even go into assembly. It just went into C code. Yeah. The Matrix series is actually a really good example. It's the easiest way to explain the life of programmers to the layman, to people that don't understand code. It really is. It depicts it pretty perfectly, and it's like the Matrix ends up being like the updated Tron. And I'm not talking like Tron Legacy. I'm talking like Tron from 1982 or 84 or whenever the hell it came out. But yeah, and all that actually stems off of the Bible, which is I, Robot, and trying to figure out how to create artificial intelligence and everything. I can't remember who the author of that one is. It might be Philip K. Dick. It might be. I can't remember. Damn, dude. Assembly's rough, man. You're talking in hexadecimal. So for those that don't know, hexadecimal is basically 0 through 9 and A through F, and that creates a 16 character combination, right? And assembly talks in that. That is also at the like one of the lowest layers of the OSI model. And the OSI model is what you build upon, right? So you have your physical layer, which is your machine and everything plugged in, right? And you have your data link layer, which connects everything. And then you start going up the scale for like applications and whatnot. It's an assembly is oh my god, assembly, like the only way I can say it is that assembly is base. That is based, that is where everything, all the magic happens, because that's how you process the information. And then your applications and everything come above that. Your network and everything come above that. But assembly is where everything is like, and that's crazy. You'll see me peeking in because I can't read the text. Yeah, logic gates. Oh, yeah. So it's not that I don't understand that, right? I mean, my background in computing is actually really heavy. And I've basically hacked almost everything that you're using today. Minus the Linux side. The Windows side, definitely. So Office, I worked on the Exchange team, which is the server behind your Outlook. I've worked on the Windows team. I've worked on the one that everybody hates, which is like Squim, which is named after a town in Washington. But basically, that's your customer experience improvement program that you always get notifications for. It's like, do you want to sign up for this? And you're like, fuck no. And yeah, no, you don't. In the beginning of that one, that team that I worked with, we actually pulled down credit card information from people. We're like, nope. I'm quality assurance, and I'm like, nope, we can't do that. We can't do that. That is a privacy deal that we can't go down everything. Basically, everything that was on your computer in order to try to understand how you use the computer. But you can thank me for not including your credit card information. Yes. Yes, I agree, Grandpa. Yes. So if we use OX00F or whatever, and we're like, okay, that's 16 or 15 or whatever the fuck it is. I think it's 16. OX00F translates to how we can actually interpret everything that's going on within the system, because it's at the flat layer. It's at the base. It's your very you're at the hardware level when you're dealing with assembly. So yes, yeah, it's the way for us to extrapolate what's going on with the machine. Correct. I totally agree. Totally agree. So that is like this is like a totally interesting topic to me, because I do code and I was a paid hacker for a long time. So yeah, I actually, just to go beyond that and try to explain my take on life, I can pass a P-test. I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything like that. I drink a shit ton of alcohol. I do. But I've had the NSA and the FBI actually call me up for coming in to work for them. And it's a little bit of background you don't normally get when I'm in chat. I was in the Air Force. I think that's well known. I got my dog tag sitting right here, actually. And my St. Christopher medal. You can hear him. So yeah. Been a lot of places. Been to Hawaii like 8 times. But yeah. Oh, I'm not quite sure where to go from here, because that was an awesome discussion. That was great. Niebler, what are you up to today? Yeah, let's do that. Let's play some games. find my mouse. Everybody's been having a hard time finding their mouse today. I've noticed that. I'll be right back. I gotta turn that freaking furnace off. It's too hot. It didn't allow me to join, did it? Or did it? May have. Not quite sure. Oh, whoops. You'll be able to find that library on SourceForge. It's there. I can find it for you if you want. The problem with the installs of the Linux distros is they don't always grab everything. And they're supposed to. I mean, they do a pickup from the net to pull down all your libraries and all that stuff. And yeah. Sweet, you won. Woohoo! But yeah, sourceforge.net is where you're going to be able to find that. I totally wish I could play some music right now, but I can't. I can't. I've already been I got a timeout on Facebook for playing music in the background, and I got a timeout from Twitch for playing music in the background. I'm like, I can't help it. I just have music playing all the time. Yeah, it doesn't always work though, because if it's not part of that library, it won't pull down. So certain things you're going to have to pull down manually. That's the problem with Linux. That's why most people can't use Linux. Okay. Lib 32. Let me check out SourceForge. Wow. Smile on your faces. And I'm just like singing a South Park song right now. Lib 32 is basic. Like that should totally be available, but it's not. It's basically your 32-bit processing. Wow. Can't believe I can't pull it down. I can't pull it down. Sorry, man. Yes, you will need 32-bit and hopefully 64-bit if you're 64 operating system. Lib32 is your basic operating system. That's a Windows handler, actually. Windows on Linux. You might be able to get the library out of there. Wine, right? I think it is. Windows on Linux. I can't remember. But if you're doing a Linux operating system, you should be able to pull that down from one of those Windows on Linux type programs. It should pull down lib32. Yeah. Wine. Yep. That's what I'm thinking of. It's been a while since I did the whole emulator type thing. But those libraries are definitely necessary, because what a library is it's basically an instruction set, and if you don't have that instruction set, then whatever program that's calling that doesn't know what to do or where to go. It's kind of like a DLL, like a dynamic link library, but it attaches the program to that based on the code that it was created on, and calls those libraries, and that's how it knows how to understand how to execute whatever. Yep. I think if you install Wine or something similar on top of that, you'll get your lib32. And once it's installed, then it's in your system path, and it should be able to call it. Should be able to pull it down. Or you might have to actually point to the exact file. That's also possible, which is a little bit more it's probably going to be on Linux, I'm not sure, but in Windows, lib32 I think resides in the C Windows System 32 folder. So you might actually be able to transport it from like Windows, actually, now that I think about it. Because it's not, yeah, you might be able to USB that over to your Linux system if you have another system to pull from. Okay. Yeah, let me know if that works, man. I'm actually kind of curious. I remember having to pull down from that's the Git, right? The GIT, which Git pulls down all your files for Linux and whatnot, and it pulls it. Yeah, you should always. So here comes the other discussion, right? Permissions. So Active Directories uses different type of permissions, and Linux uses different type of permissions. If you root in Linux, you're basically admin in Windows, and that's like same. Root, you're gonna want to do for any installation. Admin is what you're gonna want to do for any installation in Windows, and that's how it works. You get read, write, and whatever permissions, read, write, and change, I think is what it is. And you can do everything from like a DOS line or a Linux command line, and everything works the same. Everything is actually the same. wget is that's how that operates. And if you looked at the source code behind it, it's using Git, and it's using Git off of SourceForge. Microsoft backs it, Apple backs it, everybody backs it, and it's got a ton of money, because that's where you get the all your files from. That's the difference between a Linux installation and a Windows installation is that Windows is already pre-packaged. Linux, you still have to pull down from the net, because they don't know what drivers and they don't know what all you have on your machine until you try to install it, and so they pull down just what you need, specifically what you need. Yeah, chmod. Yeah. Change mod is what that stands for, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, that as well. Didn't come to fruition until about like 1984 or 1986, somewhere in there. And Linux is named after Linus Torvalds. Windows happened in, you had Windows back in like 1982. SSH, yeah. That's the beauty in Linux, is you can SSH into your servers to control them. I ran an entire fucking website network based off SSH. The nice thing about like Apache and all those servers is that when you have and it restarts and it runs perfect. And that's everything from the database, from like SQL, website running, and maintaining a server is yeah, you can just, Linux is beautiful for that. Yes, Unix definitely had permissions first. Does it make you feel weird that a 44-year-old can tell you that? But permissions actually go beyond Unix, because Unix was in... No, it doesn't go beyond Unix. Oh, I can't remember. Is Unix a production of DARPA back in the 60s? It might be. Can't remember. Huh. Unix, yeah. I think Unix was... Okay, history lesson. So, DARPA is basically the defense, whatever, blah, 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 whatever the acronym stands for. DARPA was the first people to create the internet, and that's why it was called DARPANet. And the idea was to get military and universities to be able to communicate together. And that's how the internet started. That is the basis. Just to toss information back and forth. And back in those days, it's like the most basic HTML pages you could ever think of. Just tossing links back and forth to share documents. I mean, that's what it was. It was a file sharing program in its origins. In about 1990, the internet changed, and everybody started to see it as a way for advertisement. And that's what pushed us to where we are now, where everybody sees it as a Pornhub and etc. Because you can throw up a website in like 2 seconds. So, defense. Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up because this is driving me nuts. It's defense something. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which, by the way, has a budget of $3.427 billion. And started by Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1958 in Arlington County, Virginia. 3.427 billion? Holy fuck. That is so much money. And that was taken from 2019. That is so much money. $3. Holy shit. That was in 2019. That's what that quote's from. For DARPA. $3.427 billion. So, here's where that money goes. The $3.427 billion, right, goes into basically software programming, which creates the code that basically tracks us all. It also goes into flight programs and research into new methods of space travel. So, but that still doesn't account for the $3.427 billion. Wow. My brain is spun on this one. $3.427. That's nuck and futz, man. That is so much money. Holy carp. I don't know. Don't know. Gonna. Still have a gallon left. 3.427 billion. Wow. I want to say that's where your tax dollars go. I don't know. I honestly, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to refocus. Wake out of my eyes. Cheers. Happy Monday. $3.467. 427. There we go. That's like that's like enough money to actually feed the poor in the United States, or the unhomed and the unfed. I don't know. I don't know. Here's another interesting topic. So we had a meteorite hit Earth, and they discovered this new element. And this element can defy gravity. And so DARPA actually is part of this story. And because it can defy gravity, it can counter. It's basically two magnets going against each other, right? I don't know if you've ever tried to do that. But it's possible. It's possible. So, with this new element, they are actually working on new aircraft and spacecraft. Department of Defense, which every time that we mention Department of Defense, it's probably DARPA. coming up with new technology. That being the case, that's why you might see flying saucers and stuff flying over your house, actually, currently. That's totally possible. This new element, I can't remember what the name of it is. But it's pretty nuts. It's, like I said, the properties of it are magnetic. So the only problem is we don't have that much of that resource. But if you think about it on a bigger scale, you can actually like magnetically launch into space and at speeds higher than we've ever achieved. And that's possible. We currently have a company that is actually doing kind of the same thing, kind of. And why I say kind of with like a frowny face is what they do is they basically use centrifugal force to launch rockets into space. And that's capable. But this element that I'm talking about actually once you can control gravity, you can create a gravity field around you, and you can actually propulse yourself into the beyond. So it's really cool. It's really, really cool stuff. That's hyper technology, but most people won't get it, and that's fine. You know, whatever. But yeah. Hope you all don't think I'm like talking out of my ass, because I'm not, actually. Wish I was. Go back to 1984 and just play in the arcade. Grandpa Weirdo, are you still there? I don't know. I don't even know who's here still. Looking. Oh, sweet. Alien conglomeration. Welcome to the channel. Another TV view. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm still learning how to use this setup, so yeah. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Working on the new Gen 2 install. Yeah. Gen 2 Gen 2 should actually be almost. Oh, you still need lib32. Lib32 is actually part of Windows also. Do you want me to send it to you? Grandpa Weirdo, do you want me to send you lib32? I recognize that from like Windows 3.1 days. File distribution, developer file distribution. That means that you weren't able to pull down the file. That's what FD is. Yeah, you know what? You may have to start over. Gen 2 is actually, it's actually pretty picky. It's not a friendly distro. That's why everybody else uses the whatever the mainstream is. What is the mainstream one? I can see I can see the name of what I'm talking about, but I can't recall. It's ridiculous. Ubuntu. That's what I was thinking of. That's why Ubuntu is like the easiest Linux distribution ever, right? Because it actually detects all your hardware and you can run off it. Did you hear that crack? That's what happens when you turn 44 years old, by the way. Grandpa, I don't think that you actually have any issues with, like, I'm sure you'll figure it out. For sure. I'll put it another way, actually. And anybody who knows anything about computers, you'll get this too. Your family will always ask you, what the hell to do and what to buy. That will happen constantly. The difference is that you got a guy like Grandpa Weirdo who's been around the block and understands computing and the programming and all of that. That's kind of a big deal. They've been around before you were. So you have to trust that. Holy crap, why do I have a wild hair going on up here? Weird. It's fine. I'll throw my Slayer cap on here shortly. I don't know. I don't like this cap because it makes me look like the Oklahoma bomber or whatever. So I don't like that cap. Like, this is, even though it's Slayer, it's a hell of a lot easier to run with. Grandpa, the Ubuntu will give you a web browser and an operating system to. You also have Office on it. You're. Which is why you're missing library files and DLLs and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Lib files are the same thing as a DLL, Linux to Windows. Yeah. Let's see. Ubuntu has a Windows install. If you want to pull that down, that's up to you. I'm on vacation for this week, so that's why I sound like I'm half asleep. If you have any questions, let me know what's going on. Yeah, for sure. I played with OS2 Warp, and most people don't know about that, but that was back in like 1980. 4, something like that. I'm hyper intelligent on the computing things. For instance, when I look at OBS, I can see that there's a left channel and a right channel for audio. And I figured out how to actually get my face on the screen. So, yeah. OS2 Warp was actually... OS2 Warp almost took over Windows, by the way. Almost. And it was so awesome as an operating system because it was visual and it was everybody could see cool stuff. And then Windows came out, and that's what was accepted by the Office world. And then they created Microsoft Office, and yeah. So OS2 Warp disappeared into the ether. True story. No, it wasn't. It was IBM, but it wasn't Microsoft. OS2 was some developers out of Cali. I'm not quite sure who they were, but they basically, what they did is they took a Unix operating system and made it like Microsoft and ran with it, and that's what became OS2 Warp back in the 80s. And OS2 Warp was actually a really good operating system. I mean, everybody thinks of, okay, check this out. So everybody thinks of like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and whatever, like and Linus Torvalds, like trying to create these operating systems. OS2 Warp was like the culmination of all three, and it never came to fruition at all, and that's kind of shitty. OS2 Warp was actually a really cool operating system, and actually it was given away free. It was given away free. So what the fuck is wrong with all the rest of us where we're like, you have options and they're given away free, and you don't accept that because you don't have to pay $1 for it. I'll never understand that. I will never understand that. That's kind of funny. I mean, would you? You're giving something for free? Might not be candy, but you're giving something for free. I don't understand it. I don't fucking get it at all. I have a ghost in my ear. And that's probably going to sound insane, but it's true. Grandpa. Actually, now that I think about it, if you wipe your secondary drive and start over, it might work. True story. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. You're good. But what you're trying to do is build a new operating system, and yes, you have the backup reserves and whatnot on the USB, but they're going to have to be rebuilt from scratch again. Are you ready for that? What the hell is going on with my hair? Actually, I'm trying to type, and I'm actually hosting this chat. It's kind of funny. I'm fucking Loki. Fucking Loki. Always. Always. Always Loki. And I have more than time right now. You'll be fine. It's funny. So, everybody, we've had a today, which is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. There's light. There's light. Always love the conversation. Always. And yes, I do dig the whole Ukraine thing, which you'll see in the chat. But at the same time, it's spamming right now, and I kind of want to end that. We'll see. Oh yeah, Loki always has to wear sunglasses, because I wear my sunglasses at night. And my name is Corey. I wear my sunglasses. Grandpa, it's actually probably going to be really simple. Pull down the lib32 is kind of ridiculous, and that should be within the Git protocol. I don't know. I think. Oh my god, that fucking Ukraine thing is like spammy as fuck. So here's what the option is coming up for tonight. I am probably going to be playing Mortal Kombat, and I'm probably going to be playing Call of Duty because I need to recruit some folks so we can have some leverage globally. And I'm probably going to be playing Assassin's Creed. And that's okay. I mean, it's fine. Whatever. It's just video games. And I'm probably going to watch a movie. But, yeah. Right. So I'm gonna play some music. Just because I can. And yeah. You're gonna have to deal with it. Oh, I fucked that up. Alright. I'm gonna get comfortable. As I sit in this empty, I'm standing, I'm gonna find another way. As I sit here in this misery, I don't think I'll let them know the songs I'm in. Yeah. As I sit here in this misery, yeah, yeah. And look at him. Hard. You have to change. That's the way it works, right? See y'all later on tonight. Yes, I'm gonna end this stream. Last night, and everybody's like, fucking Loki. And I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And that's kind of how it plays out in the end. Which that's awesome. Very few people can comprehend, and that's the fact that you can. It's pretty rad. It's pretty awesome. And I hope that everybody in the chat room actually enjoyed everything we were chatting about. I really do. I think you guys are awesome, and thank you for hanging out. It's awesome. You wouldn't be hanging out if you didn't understand. Like you wouldn't be here if you didn't get it, which that makes me, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry folks. I temporarily actually fell asleep for a second. My bad. I'll pick up later tonight. I have to game here in about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And the people that know me can watch my eyes like lose. It's interesting. But I totally, man, oh man. I'm gonna end the stream. I would cook a killer omelet, but like I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Oh my god. Man. Like, I don't even want to eat right now. That is how tired I am. I can't. Um, but I think the best of y'all. I really do. And thank you for joining me for a Monday session. Peace out.